Tonight, a crowd gathered in Coeur to honor the life of Charlie Kirk. We'll take you there.
I think everybody needs to come together and know that this was a tragedy.
Plus, authorities in Utah released new surveillance video showing the suspected gunman after the deadly shooting. Today marks the 24th anniversary of the September 11th terrorist attacks. A look back at how the nation paused to remember the lives lost.
Nothing but sunshine for most of us as we track a few mountain storms.
New tonight, for the first time, we are seeing video of Charlie Kirk's alleged killer jumping off a roof of a nearby building just moments after the conservative activist was assassinated. As the manhunt intensifies, just hours ago, the FBI held a press conference showing the public these images for the very first time. Good evening, and thank you for joining us for the KREM 2 Night Report. I'm Mark Hanrahan. The Utah Department of Public Safety says they have received more than 1,000 tips so far, but no suspect is in custody at this time. Here is a look at that new video from today's press conference.
Upper building, he's going to come out on the right, moves to this far right corner. As he does, he's going to climb off the edge and then drop down to the ground. As he did that, he left some palm impressions. There's some smudges, some places we're looking to collect DNA. There's a shoe imprint where we believe the suspect is clearly identified as wearing Converse tennis shoes.
As the search intensifies, Charlie Kirk's body was brought back to Arizona on Air Force 2, where he lived with his family. Meanwhile, President Trump says he plans to award Kirk a posthumous Presidential Medal of Freedom. Tonight, the Coeur d'Alene community held a vigil remembering Charlie Kirk. KREM 2's Connor McAvoy reports from McEwen Park and spoke with attendees who say he will be missed.
As the sun set quietly over Lake Coeur d'Alene, a crowd of hundreds along its shores, including Valerie Doyle, are making themselves heard.
And I'm so brokenhearted and angry. And I wanted to come here and support and be around all the like-minded people that loved him dearly.
Community members like Doyle gathered at the Avista Pavilion in McEwen Park for a candlelight vigil to remember the life of well-known conservative political activist Charlie Kirk. Kirk was shot and killed during a speaking event in Utah Wednesday night at 31 years old. Organizer Patrick Wolf says when he first saw what happened, he knew he had to do something to pay tribute to his work.
And that initial moment is like shock, right? I think everyone had this collective shock that occurred. But the calls for prayers, of course, became very evident.
Wolf was one of many who spoke to the crowd during the vigil. He and other speakers emphasized their support for Kirk and his work touring college campuses across the country, including here in the Inland Northwest. The crowd eventually held candles up commemorating his life and work, as well as praying for safety for his family. Wolf says the incident struck him not just as a supporter, but as a husband and father as well.
They wake up in the morning and I get them to jump in my bed and, give me hugs and kisses. And the tragedy of that is, two kids have lost a father and a wife has lost a husband. And I think that's what really hurts.
As members of the Coeur d'Alene community raise their candles high, Doyle hopes his death will not be forgotten, and people on either side of the aisle show sympathy for his family while they're in mourning.
I think everybody needs to come together and know that this was a tragedy. And I'm looking forward to whoever committed this assassination to be caught and justice will be served.
In Coeur d'Alene, Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
Today marks 24 years since the September 11th terrorist attacks. In New York City, the tradition of reading the names of all those who died took place this morning in front of large crowds. Many across the Inland Northwest gathered to pay tribute to the victims. Today, that included a large event in Coeur d'Alene. The Kootenai County Sheriff's Office also held a ceremony to remember the lives lost. You can watch parts of that ceremony and others from across the country over on KREM 2+. Meantime, Eastern Washington University held a stair climb event today to honor the lives of first responders who died while answering the call after the attacks. Participants climbed 110 flights of stairs representing the Twin Towers. All right, let's take a break from the headlines and talk weather with Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Lagout joining us from the Outdoor Weather Center tonight. Jeremy, it's almost the weekend. What's in store?
Well, as we move through the next couple of days, a bit of everything, believe it or not. Well, everything except for snow right now. 69 degrees where we currently sit, and wind has nicely calmed down. We have clearing skies overhead, but you don't have to go far to find some storms. Those are all down to our south. It was a conglomerate that moved through. We watched it all night long. Kind of impressive the way it came together. It continues overnight. I think we wind up seeing a few more stray showers down across parts of the Palouse and in the southern Panhandle early tomorrow morning. That moves out tomorrow afternoon. A few scattered showers pop up, most of those in similar places to where we've seen them in the mountains the past couple of days. Nothing widespread, and we are going to trend a little drier. Saturday, most of what we see sets up along the Idaho-Montana border. I think that's where a bulk of the activity stays before we wind up seeing a shift in the weather pattern and more widespread cloud cover and even precipitation comes Sunday. That means Sunday winds up a little bit cooler. 80s both Friday and Saturday under mostly sunny skies. 70s on Sunday as rain returns in the evening.
All right, sounds good, Jeremy. Thank you very much. Now it's time for our Night Beat with a quick look at today's top stories. The annual State of Spokane County address was held earlier today, and local leaders say they are preparing for a tough budget cycle, saying the county is expected to face a projected $20 million budget deficit. The other main focus was crime and safety. Spokane County Commission Chair Mary Cooney highlighted the board's increases in funding for Spokane treatment and recovery services, but she says it's clear there's much more that needs to be done.
We are on trend to lose one person to an overdose death every day in 2025. That is unacceptable.
The county has also hired 50 new deputies in the last 18 months. Beyond crime, construction was also a top highlight in the past year. Cooney says construction investments hit the second highest in county history, bringing in almost $1 million in revenue. A Hilliard man faces decades in prison after police say they found enough fentanyl powder to kill everyone in Spokane County almost 4 times over. A judge sentenced Timothy Maddox to 20 years in prison. The U.S. Attorney's Office says police recovered enough drugs to make 2 million fentanyl pills and evidence of a commercial pill press operation. They say he helped run that operation out of his accomplice's Hilliard home. Police say the men ordered the pill press through the mail from China. Federal has launched a new dashboard to track the more than 24 cases it's filed against the Trump administration. To date, Washington has been a part of 37 lawsuits against President Trump since he took office in January. AG Nick Brown has spearheaded at least half of those filings with other Democrat-run states. If you'd like to check out the dashboard for yourself, just head to atg.wa.gov. And that's it for your Night Beat. For more information on any of these stories, just head to our website. That's KREM.com. All right, don't go to bed just yet. A follow-up on a story that we first told you about nearly 4 years ago about a young man who overcame incredible hardship to pursue his passion. But first, the Inland Northwest continues to reflect and honor the lives lost on 9/11. We are back in just 90 seconds.